Climate change is a growing concern around the world, and it is well known that fossil fuels are the primary source of greenhouse gases. However, a growing world still needs energy, and renewable energy is the energy of the future. The most common types of renewable energy are, of course, wind and solar, but a tiny, less well-known creature is starting to make a strong impact.
Referred to as algae, this group of plant-like organisms consists of both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Generally, the definition of algae is limited to the eukaryotic organisms, but cyanobacteria, as shown in the picture, are also called blue-green algae. They differ from plants is not in how they form energy. They both use photosynthesis through chlorophyll, but the fact that algae lack plant structures such as roots, leaves, stems, or vascular tissue. They are found in 3 different groups based on color. See in the pictures. First, brown, second, red, and the last, green. Seaweed is a common form of algae most people familiar with, and most people have consumed it in the form of sushi. I like sushi. Red algae is in some forms can be toxic to humans, and large blooms have occurred in recent years off the coast of Florida.
The 2 main types of ponds to grow algae are raceway ponds and closed photobioreactors. In a raceway pond, they are open systems in which a paddle wheel helps mix up the algae. Although they are reasonably cheap to operate and maintain, they have a very high risk for contamination due to the open system. In a closed photobioreactor, these are often very isolated systems where the algae grows in a batch. Although these have a lot less contamination risks, they are very expensive at operating. Therefore, only very small, like target molecules, are usually used for batch. Lots of factors affect the productivity of algae. Things such as pathogens can cause the productivity to decrease, as well as increase in nutrients can also enhance the productivity. Raceway ponds often have CO2 bubbling through the algae to help improve photosynthesis, and also light can make a huge difference on how well the algae grows, so areas that get a lot more solar radiation will often have higher biomass production.
Now that we've talked about how to grow algae and some of the different factors that affect the growth, we're going to talk about how we can actually use this algae to produce useful products. So algae contains 3 basic types of molecules. The first one is carbohydrates, the second one is proteins, and the third one is oils. We can use the carbohydrates to make things like chemicals such as ethanol. We can also use proteins for feedlots so that other animals can eat it and survive. And the last one with oils, we can turn them into chemicals such as biodiesel and use them to fuel our vehicles. The first main way to use algae is through pyrolysis. This is a large chamber that is heated to a very high temperature, and it produces bio-oil. The second main way of using algae is through anaerobic digestion. This produces biogas that can be extracted out of the reactor. The third main way of using algae is through fermentation. This turns the carbohydrates into sugars for bioethanol. The fourth main way of using algae is transesterification of lipids, and this produces biodiesel. And this can be used in agriculture equipment such as tractors.
As we have shown, algae has the potential to grow molecules that can be converted into a wide variety of chemicals and fuels necessary for energy production. There are a wide variety of methods in algae growth and energy production, but a reliable, efficient, and low-cost method is still lacking. There are a lot of questions that still need to be solved, and hopefully one of you will be the one to discover that answer. We have assigned a learning activity in the form of a quiz to test your knowledge. Good luck.